Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is M.Rohid Burhanul Hakim from class 3 TBIC, and this is my final examination video that will explain about pros and cons of online learning. In 2019, the COVID pandemic has hit various sectors in Indonesia. Not only the economic sector is getting overwhelmed, the tourism sector, the transportation sector, and the manufacturing sector are also overwhelmed by this pandemic. The education sector has also undergone major change. Now, the education sector in Indonesia has a new theme and system which at the same time raises pros and cons in society. The Minister of Education in Indonesia, the Minister of Education and Culture of Indonesia, Mr. Nadiem Makarim, took a number of policies to deal with the pandemic. Of the several policies, the establishment of online learning is the policy that reaps the most pros and cons in society. Based on author survey, I have surveyed. At first, this policy was deemed appropriate at the beginning of the pandemic. Parents and education activities consider that this is the best way to protect students from exposure to COVID-19. However, anxiety began to arise in line with the lengthening of online learning time. The first anxiety was raised by the parents of students who feel troubled with the test of teachers. In particular, for kindergarten and elementary school students, where the role of parents is very much needed to complete online assignments. Learning is not effective because students think home is a place to play and relax. Parents who are not aware of technology also seem to be concerned with online learning. That is all digital. The second anxiety comes from teachers who feel online learning is not effective enough. Some teaching materials such as mathematics, arts, and sports cannot be conveyed properly. Teachers also do not have sufficient experience and proficient with online learning systems, so that teaching methods and media still tend to be repetitive and less innovative. There are also concerns about the rising internet, especially when there is zero internet subsidies from schools or from government. Not to forget the students, especially university students as me, I have also complained about the online learning system. Many students that have to postpone their research because they cannot collect data in the field. The final project consultation was hampered. As a result, the graduation target is threatened with delay. As a writer, I have listed the pros and cons of online learning. For the first one, I will give you the pros in online learning. Number one, students can learn with less fear anxiety about others judging them. Students who may feel embarrassed about asking for help may be more comfortable coming forward. Number two, students can take an asynchronous trick. For example, only independent assignment, no need for live class. This can be great for some students with social learning difference, such as those who may struggle with listening or hand hand-on test comprehension, and they will do better with visual, such with on offline system learning. Number three, students can study from their comfort of their own home. Students can take lesson everywhere and anytime with online learning. Everything feels easier. Number 4. Problems like bullying are reduced. With online learning, students will not meet each other and reduce the possibility for bullying between students. It is very good for reducing problems between students. And here is a list of the cons of online learning. After we learn about pros of online learning, I will give you some examples about cons of online learning. Number 1. Depending on the age of the student, a parent needs to be home at all times. There are students who still need parental guidance, such as kindergarten and elementary school. They still need to be guided by their parents. And they, as parents, need to continue beside their children, and it makes it difficult for parents who have obligations outside the home. 2. Some students need to be shown exactly how to do something via demonstration. This may be challenging through a screen in some cases. This can be particularly challenging for students with more severe learning needs who benefit from hand-over-hand support, direct modeling of a task, etc. Number 3. Some students need a lot of support, which requires a person being physically present. This support can be for behavioral, emotional, physical, or academic reasons. Some parents may not know how or may be overwhelmed about having to provide a constant stream of support to their child throughout the educational day. This can be especially challenging when there are multiple children in the home or the parent has to work. Even someone hired to work with the student may not know the strategies to support a child with social learning, behavioral needs, and many more. That is why it is so important to be sure people working with students are highly trained in academic and behavioral strategies that support a student's growth. And the support of student growth is both online and in a traditional learning environment, aka offline learning system. As humans, most of us are used to in-person interaction. In the past, it has allowed us to form deep connection, build a sense of camaraderie, form a family-type feel, etc. Building a strong sense of community can add to a student's desire to learn and grow as a person. It is difficult to know how an online learning community will promote these types of connection, opportunities, and desires. From the things that I have mentioned above regarding the pros and cons of online learning, it can be concluded that the new learning methods still need to be developed. Regarding the cons that I mentioned earlier, the government still needs to provide a solution to the problems that arise due to the current pandemic. So that's all from me. I think that's enough that I have said about the pros and cons of online learning. If I have said something wrong, I apologize. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.